Hi. From this picture, you can get an idea about what we are going to discuss today. You can see this four surgeons discussing between themselves that how they can reset the internal clock of their patient. So obviously, today's topic we are going to discuss is internal clock of our body. Yeah, it has been studied that starting from cyanobacteria to Homo sapiens, on this earth, each and every animal, they have a time-keeping mechanism, internal time-keeping mechanism, which control many physiological activities and also behavioral activities. And it consisted of total 24-hour, and it goes in a cycle starting from, you can see this is a total 24 hours, means the sunrise, then awakening, then you are doing the daily activity, then it is night is starting, you at the time of the night you are going for sleep, again you are getting up. So in this process there are so many biological and physiological activities are going on that we are going to discuss, and this is called the circadian rhythm. Continuation of the last slide. Here we can see it is a cycle of biological clock, maybe you can say. See here, the sunrise is happening here, and just to get an idea that what are the biological activity is happening in a human body. You can see the example, for example, maybe there is an increase in testosterone secretion at the 9 a.m. and the melatonin secretion dips down as the days go on. According to the sunrise, melatonin secretion almost stop, and then it has been studies, so many studies, it has been seen that the fastest reactions of the brain, it happens during the midday, like around 2:30 to 3:30, and then sunset happens, highest blood pressure. So very surprising, highest blood pressure, because of the daily activity, the total day activity, there is an increase in blood pressure. The highest body temperature, even here at the 7 p.m. is the highest body temperature, whereas the lowest body temperature you can see is 4:30 a.m. So everything, it is going in a clock each and every day, and how it is possible and which part of your brain is responsible for that we are going to discuss in this next slides. As we are discussing about the circadian rhythm, now you are supposed to know about, other than circadian rhythm, what are the other biological rhythms are present in mammals and human also. First, obviously, circadian rhythm, which is completely 24 hours a day, 24 hours daily cycle. Example, sleep-wake cycle, or the last slide we have seen that the body temperature regulation. Okay, then it comes the infradian rhythm. So more than a day. It is not restricted to 24 hours. It is maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. So most important example is the menstrual cycle. Yes, it is a cycle, but it is not restricted to 24 hours, though it is a cycle, maybe 3 days or 4 days or 5 days. And hibernation also, hibernation for the mammals. And then come the ultradian rhythm. Just check it. This is quite different from circadian rhythm, but it is related to the circadian rhythm. Ultradian rhythm is more than one cycle in a 24 hours. So what can be the, any clue? So it is the cycles of the nighttime sleep or sleep cycles. In a sleep time, in a sleep during person when there is a sleeping, there is a other sleep cycles is going on that we are going to discuss in the next class, next topic. So and this is called ultradian rhythm. And then the circa-annual rhythm, that is a yearly cycle. Obviously it is in case of mammals, the mating time, mating behavior, and the particular season they secrete pheromone and they mate. And obviously the migration of birds, and this is total biological rhythm of different mammals, animals, and Homo sapiens also. Now proper we are going to discuss about circadian rhythm or intrinsic clock mechanism of human. And obviously it is a rhythm and which is or a cycle which is restricted to a 24 hours, a day long cycle. And the circadian word came from Latin. It is a Latin word. The circa means about, approx, and diem is a day. So in 24 hours, approximately 24 hours, what are the biological activities is going on, and which is keeping the time, which part of your brain is keeping this clock time keeping mechanism, what it is happening. This we are going to discuss in the next slide. Now we are going to discuss about the which part of brain is keeping the time of a circadian rhythm. That is very important, and that is called suprachiasmatic nucleus. Okay, the name itself is explanatory where it is situated, and it is to the of the anterior hypothalamus, a part of the anterior hypothalamus, which is a master clock, master of this, we can say, the circadian rhythm. Now we can see this diagram. You see this is a this is hypothalamus, okay, and this is the pituitary gland, and this is the optic chiasma. It has been shown that that is an optic chiasma. This one is an optic chiasma, and the green one, whatever it is there, this is suprachiasmatic nucleus, because it is just above to the optic chiasma. That's why it is suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it is a part of anterior hypothalamus, which maintains the circadian rhythm. Another thing it has been shown in this diagram is the pineal gland, which is interrelated with, there is a connection, it is a cyclical connection of the suprachiasmatic nucleus and the pineal gland, which both controls the circadian rhythm. So from here we can see this is a sun is rising, and this photic information is going through retina and then to the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Suprachiasmatic nucleus, something is happening that we are going to discuss, and this suprachiasmatic nucleus is also giving the response to pineal gland, and output is this rhythm or the circadian rhythm, which is physiological and behavioral both. Last slide, we have seen that the light is falling on the eye and the information is going to suprachiasmatic nucleus. Now, what is the neuron, or what is the nervous connection which is responsible for carrying this photic stimulation to suprachiasmatic nucleus? That is called retino-hypothalamic pathway. What is that and where it is situated? This is eyeball, and this lens, the light is falling on this retina, and there are typical ganglionic cell, which is different from the photoreceptors. These are carrying the sensation directly through the to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and this is called retino-hypothalamic pathway. So after reaching their suprachiasmatic nucleus, there is a transcriptional changes are happening, and this is starting the circadian rhythm or the biological clock of your body. So we can see what are the biological clock it is happening, and here we can see this is a diagram. We can see the light is falling on this eye. This is the retino-hypothalamic path. It is reaching to the suprachiasmatic nucleus. After reaching there is other CNS hormone and peptides mediators are which is changing the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the transcriptional process, starting the transcriptional process, and this transcriptional process is also changing, giving the information to the other organ of your body, like this autonomic nervous system, endocrine system, immune system. Even the immune system comes under this circadian rhythm also. And there is another connection through the superior cervical ganglion. There is information is going to the pineal gland, the pineal body secreting melatonin, and this also is responsible for a very big responsible cause of the sleep wake cycle. This is a typical diagram of retino-hypothalamic path with a bigger diagram. You can see here there is from the retina the along a nerve fiber without going to lateral geniculate fiber body nucleus. It is going to suprachiasmatic nucleus. This is a suprachiasmatic nucleus, and this one side pathway, retinohypothalamic pathway, it is giving sensation to both sides suprachiasmatic nucleus. As we have discussed, after photic stimulation of the suprachiasmatic nucleus, there is a transcriptional process starts there. So how it happens, and what happens when there is a transcription starts. So there is a negative feedback loop. It works as a negative feedback loop for this gene coding, gene transcription, translation, and it controls the other physiological behavior, how it is happening and what are the gene responsible for that. There are heterodimers of several basic transcription factors. There is a main two basic transcription factors are present. One is called clock gene, another one is BMAL1 gene. These two genes in turns activate the other transcription of the several other genes. What are those? Those are mainly period gene called PER1 and 2. Another one is cryptochrome gene, CRY1 and 2. It has been seen that the period gene is believed to be the rate limiting genes. Now, how it acts through a negative feedback loop. When there is a gene is activated diurnally, these are producing, giving the signals to biological organs like endocrine organs and autonomic nervous system. So what is happening? There is an increased transcription of some protein of a protein synthesis in the nucleus, and this is giving to the biological function. But when there is a function is over, this protein return back to the nucleus and inhibits the gene production. So it completes the negative feedback loop of this and it works as a cycle. Now we are going to discuss about how circadian rhythm controls your sleep-wake cycle. Now we are coming to this diagram. You can see there is a two thing. This is a sleep-wake cycle, and this is a circadian cycle rhythm, and it's a homeostatic mechanism. Homeostatic mechanism means what we are telling. Suppose you are getting up in the morning, doing your daily activities, going to college, studying, giving exam, coming back, and then again studying for the next day, having food, and these physical activities, these behavioral activities are increasing your sleep drive, that you should take a nap or you should go for bed. And your in the meantime your brain neurotransmitter are also decreased because of so much of activities. So brain is also getting slow, and this behavioral activity or this homeostatic activities are also controlling your sleep wake cycle. Okay, this is another one. Another one is a circadian cycle. What is this? This whenever there is a photic stimulation to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, there is a gene transcription, and these genes are controlling this circadian rhythm. So both homeostatic and the circadian mechanisms is controlling the sleep-wake cycle. Continuation of the last slide. Again, two process model. See here, there's a homeostatic sleep drive. Another one is a circadian signal. Circadian signal is completely by genetic transcription. It is happening. It mainly dependent on the light, and homeostatic sleep drive are your daily activity. At the time when the sleep drive is maximum, because of both this, you are going to sleep and the sleep process is starting, and you are falling asleep and again you are getting up. Here only it is showing that the melatonin secretion is also increasing during your sleep. So this is two process model called two process model. One is a homeostatic sleep drive and another one is a circadian alertic signal, which both control the sleep wake cycle. Now we are going to discuss about the connection between the pineal gland and suprachiasmatic nucleus. The pineal gland, which secretes a sleep hormone. So the pineal gland or the melatonin, which secretes melatonin, it also has a relation with the sleep-wake cycle and how it is possible. The hormone which regulates the sleep-wake cycle along with the suprachiasmatic nucleus And this melatonin is secreted from the pineal gland, which has a widespread effect on the brain that we are not going to discuss. We are going to discuss only about the sleep-wake cycle and the relation with the melatonin. And obviously it's work with suprachiasmatic nucleus. Light reduces the melatonin activity. That means whenever the light coming to the suprachiasmatic nucleus through the retinohypothalamic uh, mm, uh, nucleus, from there their signal is going to pineal gland, and which reduces the melatonin secretion. There is a link between that, and suprachiasmatic nucleus and the pineal gland synchronize with this light and dark cycle which control the sleep wake cycle also. And there are light sensitive cells are there which converts serotonin to melatonin. And there is a diagram, there is a diurnal variation. You can see this is the 7 a.m. It is very less, and when you are falling it is maximum, it is around 4 a.m. it's maximum, and then it is decreasing whenever the light is falling on the eye. So there is a diurnal variation of the melatonin level believed to coordinate the endocrinal response, other endocrinal response of the body with the light and dark cycle along with these changes. In this diagram, a continuation of the last slide, here we can see how this melatonin secretion is regulated by this suprachiasmatic nucleus. So retino-hypothalamic pathway project the information about the illumination to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which interprets genetically information to the length of the day and the night. Through the superior cervical ganglia of the spinal cord, it is coming to the pineal gland, and from the pineal gland it secretes melatonin. What melatonin is doing? Melatonin is giving a feedback information to the suprachiasmatic nucleus. So whenever the light is falling, then again suprachiasmatic nucleus genetic transcription starts, and then your biological activity is starting. So suprachiasmatic nucleus and the pineal gland works hand in hand to maintain the sleep-wake cycle. In this slide, we are going to discuss about the melatonin, how it controls other biological activity along with the sleep-wake cycle. In this diagram, we can see here melatonin is secreting from the pineal gland as it getting the information about the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and then it obviously regulates the internal sleep-wake clock or cycle, and then along with this, it also regulate the hormonal secretion, giving the information to the hypothalamus. As we know, from the hypothalamus signal goes to pituitary and then other endocrine glands, and it regulates this. Here in an example, there is a fluctuation how melatonin secretion controls this stimulation of this secretion of this ACTH and glucocorticoid. This is a diagram, this is a graph. This blue one is a plasma ACTH, and whereas this red one is a corticosteroid, precursors of corticosteroid. It had been shown that it start increasing around 4 a.m. the ACTH secretion, along with if the ACTH secretion increasing, obviously glucocorticoid secretion is also increasing, and it is giving a peak of around, it has been seen as 6 a.m. it is at the peak. So it around after a little bit after that, the corticosteroid secretion also increasing in the body. So the melatonin, along with the sleep-wake cycle, it also regulates the other biological activity like the endocrine organ. Here we come to the end of this discussion. Now we are going to summarize what we have discussed. First, the sleep obeys the circadian or the ultradian rhythm, obviously, and then what is the pathway? The retinohypothalamic pathway, which gives the photic stimulation to the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and then it controls a rest, whereas the suprachiasmatic nucleus acts as a main timekeeping or the grandfather clock. It can be called as a grandfather clock. Okay, and then it rhythmically oscillates the clock and located in the other organ body. Then circadian rhythm is based on the cyclic production of the nuclear transcription factor like a clock and the BMAL1 gene and other gene also, period and cryptochrome gene, and from retina through retinohypothalamic pathway through the superior cervical ganglia, there is a sympathetic activation of the pineal gland, which secretes in turn the melatonin from serotonin and controls sleep-wake cycle and also other biological functions. So here we ends the discussion about this, circadian rhythm and ultradian rhythm. Thank you.